Hey, it's me, Emil Nate, Emil Meister, the one and only, welcoming you to the first ever post-AW Dynamite review show on this channel. This is something that, I really want to do, and I've been thinking of doing ever since, but this is the only time that I thought of it. This is the only time I had, because it's Christmas, nothing much to do. So, there's a lot to unwrap after this episode of Dynamite. But before we start with the post-show review, please follow me on all my socials. You could subscribe here on YouTube for more content, on Twitter as well at Emil_Meister, and on Twitch. You could follow me on Twitch. I am streaming there as well, Emil_Meisters. And don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, whatever the hell you want to do. Every interaction, of course, is a support that I will always appreciate. So, let's not waste time. Let's get into Let's get into the review. It was a jam-packed episode of AEW Dynamite. We saw a lot of shit happen in this episode of Dynamite. So we'll go by it one by one, segment by segment. And let's go first to the first segment, which was Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. Of course, this feud has been stemming for a while. You got the Elite on the other side, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks with Bobby Fish. And then we got the Best Friends with Chucky T, Trent, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta. The match. Probably, for me, that was probably the best Orange Cassidy match I've ever seen, on TV at least, because, we all know Orange, we love Orange Cassidy, man, but he isn't really the type of wrestler that would really have this really great matches. But earlier, I thought that was the best match Orange Cassidy has ever had in AEW so far, and Adam Cole is Adam Cole, one of the best in-ring talents in the company. So that was a really fantastic match. But, what piqued the interest of everyone was the ending, because, during the middle parts of the match, the Young Bucks interfered, but they got sent away by Best Friends. And then at the end, Bobby Fish went out, and then we had an undisputed debut. Kyle O'Reilly, interfering in behalf of Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, took out Orange Cassidy. Adam Cole with a pinfall 1, 2, 3 after the last shot, or the boom, as it is called in AEW. And for a while there was something, interesting. Cole grabbed Kyle O'Reilly, and they were kind of, they were face to face. I guess this is a continuity to what happened in NXT before both of them left. Of course, they were feuding, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. However, when Chucky T and Trent Beretta went to the ring, Kyle O'Reilly went after the Best Friends, and Kyle and Bobby, I think they're good. Bobby and Kyle held Chuck Taylor, Adam Cole with a super kick, and all is well. And I think we just got an Undisputed Era reunion here today. And the ending of that segment was the Young Bucks kind of wondering. They're kind of like they want Adam to explain this situation right now, because this is going to be an interesting storyline down the road. We got the Elite with Matt and Nick and Kenny on the sidelines, and then on the other side of the spectrum we got the Undisputed Era. I still do not know what are we going to call them in AEW, but as of right now, I'm still going to call them the Undisputed Era, because that is the name that they were really famous for. So yeah, things are getting interesting, and the footnote to this is Cole left with Red Dragon instead of the Young Bucks. So that is an interesting story to follow. So, and it was announced earlier that next week on the New Year's Smash episode, we will get the best friends and Orange Cassidy going up against the newly reunited Undisputed Era of Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. So this Kyle O'Reilly debut is something that we have been anticipating for a while now. I mean, even went back to like a month ago when news came out that Kyle O'Reilly's contract is expiring this month, and of course, like we all watched and anticipated what he's going to do on NXT. He had that storyline with Von Wagner that didn't go so well. They challenged for the tag team titles at the last takeover, and then Von Wagner turned on him, and we all assumed that was going to be Kyle's last appearance. But then, he still went back, had a match with Von Wagner, and that was it. That was his last appearance in NXT in WWE. But up until this moment, it was still kind of unclear whether or not Kyle is really going to AEW, because rumors last week has said that the WWE are confident that both Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano are going to return eventually to WWE. It's either on the main roster or on NXT. But now, knowing what happened, those reports are absolutely false. Kyle O'Reilly has now joined All Elite Wrestling, and there's a lot of possibilities for Kyle, because if you would think about it, like, Kyle really saw what is, he kind of already foreseen what is going to happen to him if he stayed with WWE. Adam Cole saw it first. I mean, he knew the direction of the company, and maybe this isn't going to be he isn't going to have the best of career there. So he found a loophole to that, and got out pretty quick. Same with, Bobby was released, and Kyle he just let his contract expired. So it didn't even took 90 days for Kyle O'Reilly to transition from NXT to AEW. So I think that Kyle O'Reilly in AEW is going to be great. I mean, we're going to have Red Dragon back together once again, one of the best tag teams on God's green, and also the Undisputed Era. I mean, a lot of people love Undisputed Era, and it's really it's really ironic that when this whole war started between AEW and NXT, when they were both on Wednesday nights, they were the top faction in NXT. The Undisputed Era was NXT's top act, and not even 3 years into this, all three guys of the four from that top act with the Undisputed Era, now they are in AEW, and they are together as the Undisputed Era. So that's poetic justice, I think, and to all of this. I think it kind of indicated that the AEW, I do not want to say that it was a war, but if it was, AEW, they have won. This is done. This is over. They got the top generals of the other side, and they're now in the company. So what do I think this will lead? I think, to be perfectly honest with you, this might either lead to an Undisputed Era versus Elite storyline, or they could go back to the Cole versus O'Reilly storyline. We still do not have an idea where this shit will go. But one thing is clear. I am so happy we got the era back together. Undisputed Era was probably my favorite WWE act for the 4 years that they were there. And they were the workhorses of NXT. They always had the best matches, the best storylines, and for a while they dominated that brand. Let's remember, when this war started, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong held all the titles in NXT except for the women's championship. But they were the faction. They were the guys on the NXT, and now it's kind of poetic justice that NXT has gone to a different direction, and AEW suddenly they got all these guys on their side. So again, Kyle O'Reilly is all elite, and things are back to where there was a few months ago. Because again, I really got sad when Adam Cole broke up the Undisputed Era in NXT. Because again, I love that group. So yeah, I'm just happy we got the era back in AEW. So let's go by the other segments as well. What was the other segments? Oh yeah, Wardlow. Okay, I am starting to really be interested in what is the end game of these Wardlow squash matches, because this is the first time that they are actually showcasing Wardlow instead of just being the muscle of the Pinnacle. I mean, is this eventually going to lead to his? Is this TK experimenting for a Wardlow solo run? Because they kind of like, if you would remember Batista's rise to being a single star, they also kind of did this. Like during the late stages of the Evolution faction, Batista was starting to get some more singles action, and he was starting to drift away from Evolution. And this is the same thing. Wardlow is when he goes out, he's not with MJF anymore. He's with Shawn Spears, and I feel like they are trying to do an experiment on whether or not Wardlow would be a really good single star, and he is. He has a complete package. He has the body. I mean, he can go in the ring as well, and he's over. Like the fans are really waiting to cheer Wardlow on because they like Wardlow. I mean, a faction of the AEW crowd really likes Wardlow, and so maybe this is an experiment for down the line if a possible Wardlow breaking out of the Pinnacle storyline may work, and I think it will. I mean, they just have to give it more time. They have to anticipate the build towards the eventual turn, and I think we will get this probably by the middle of 2022, if I am going to be correct. So again, Wardlow deserved to be a single star. He is good on his own. I think he can. Plus, AEW really needs that muscle, that monster guy. Now that Ryan Cage is on the outs, I guess, in AEW, so Wardlow will work. Wardlow will work as a single star, and this is kind of like an experiment whether or not he can hang as a single star, and he can. I fully believe he can. So we also got on the episode Owen Hart, the vignette for the Owen Hart tournament that will conclude at Double or Nothing next year. That was a wholesome video package, and again I've tweeted this earlier. Owen Hart is one of those rare people in wrestling that he's just wholesome as fuck. You can't say one bad thing about him. He's a family man. Like in a business full of toxic people, full of abusers, alcoholics, full of people that have ruined their lives post their career. Owen Hart, man, he's a saint. He's a saint in pro wrestling, and everyone loves Owen Hart. And again, it is just sad to see what happened to him many years ago, but the tributes, all the love that he's getting, it kind of warms my heart. We do not have much wholesome shit in wrestling, and this is just a wholesome ordeal, and we are going to have a tournament. They haven't released though what is going to be the format of this tournament. All we know is that there's going to be a men's tournament and a women's tournament. So is this going to be a March Madness style and with the brackets and it's going to be one and done, or is this going to be kind of a G1 tournament? This is going to be kind of a G1 in which we're gonna there's going to be two two groups, and we're gonna have a round robin format, and whoever has the top spot of each group will face in the final. So still, we do not know the format, but I guess there's development now that Owen Hart, the tournament, is going to conclude at Double or Nothing. Okay, we also got today the tournament match, the semifinals to the TBS title tournament between Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose. Ruby Soho winning that one with a very, very unique finish. So now Ruby is in the finals, and she will face either Thunder Rosa or Jade Cargill. That match is going to happen next week on Dynamite. Again, Ruby Soho continues to impress me. She had that banger of a match against Kris Statlander last week, and now against Nyla Rose, another incredible match. Nyla Rose deserves a lot of credit. Like, she was one of the original AEW women in the roster, and she's also one of the. I think she also was an AEW Women's Champion, and her role these days is to put over people. And she is absolutely good at putting people over. I mean, Hikaru Shida. She put over Hikaru Shida last year, Double or Nothing. Riho as well. Had an incredible match during the early days of Dynamite. So now it's Ruby Soho. This was a good match. Looking forward to the finals. Whoever she faces. I think it's going to be Jade Cargill. And I think we're going to have Ruby Soho versus Jade Cargill in the finals on the first Dynamite of 2022 on TBS for the TBS Women's Championship. Also, we got in the episode Malachi Black winning over Griff Garrison with a submission. Man, I'm trying to think. What can I say about this match? Malachi Black is just fucking awesome. Everything about him. His presentation, his entrance, the way he moves in the ring, his strikes, his finisher, everything about Malachi Black is absolutely gold. So the question now is, where is this gonna lead? Is this simply a filler feud for Malachi Black? Is he done with Cody? So again, I think he's just biding his time until he gets the House of Black faction. There's no reference about the House of Black faction earlier in the show. So again, this is another wait and see, because I'm guessing we're gonna get this angle maybe next year, early next year. The House of Black. Also, it was reported that his tag team partner in PWG, Brody King, has also signed with AEW. So I guess that's one thing that we should watch out for. Anytime now, Brody King can debut. So, and also, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Fuck that transphobic dude who had this shitty sign during the Nyla Rose Ruby Soho match. I'm not gonna even acknowledge the guy. I'm not gonna say what the sign said. It was transphobic. It was bad. In 2021, really, people, get over it. Fuck that guy. Screw that guy. And I heard he was escorted out of the building. Yeah, he deserved it. You're gonna waste a lot of money to do stupid shit, man. You deserve to be kicked out. Okay. Oh yeah, also earlier we had the Bryan Danielson versus Adam Page promo. Another good one. Bryan Danielson, man, he's been killing this heel shtick in AEW. He isn't a heel in terms of he's a coward. He's a heel because, he very damn knows well he's so fucking good. And he's trying to get into Page's head. But Page, man, I really love the continuity of Page's story, that he is now the most confident guy in AEW. and he didn't back down from Bryan. He didn't he went head to head with Bryan last week, and this week on the promo he did it once again. There's no reason for Adam Page to lose. I do not know why people said that that Page needs to lose. I mean, he just won the title. Like, he's just gonna things are just gonna go back to things to things last year. I mean, you're gonna ignore a year build of his persona, of his confident persona, just for the sake of heat. I don't get that. Adam Page, he deserved to win Dispute, and I believe in the rematch that we're gonna have in Dynamite in 2 weeks. First Dynamite on TBS. He's gonna win that one, and I think he's gonna pin Bryan. He's gonna give Bryan his first loss in AEW, and Bryan said that they're gonna have some judges for the match. Again, another callback to the old days of wrestling, because if it reaches the 60-minute time limit, the judges will determine who won that match. So yeah, we're gonna have an amazing rematch in 2 weeks down the line. And also, lastly, the main event. Sting, Darby Allin, and CM Punk wins the match against MJF and FTR. First of all, I hope MJF is just fine. There was this spot in the match in which Sting threw MJF onto the outside of the ring, and I think he overshoot him, and MJF landed straight on his head. Although kudos to Cash and Dax, they kind of took care of MJF there. Could have been a scary situation for Maxwell Jacob Friedman, but he is fine. He is good. He just tweeted earlier he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. But aside from that, that was a really amazing match. Amazing 6-man tag. And again, more reasons for AEW to have a trios title, because look at the trios now that we have in AEW. So we got the Matt Hardy, the Hardy Family Office. We got the Undisputed Era, the Elite with Bucks and Kenny, the Best Friends as well, and like the Pinnacle, any combination of them with FTR. Also Sting, Darby, and back then it used to be Darby, John Moxley, and Eddie Kingston. Now it's Sting, Darby, and they can find another partner, maybe CM Punk. Also, who else? A Dark Order as well. So yeah, they could have a trios tournament. Oh, they also have Men of the Year as well with America's Top Team. So yeah, we should have a trios tournament, man. Absolutely, I am 100% gonna support a trios tournament down the line in All Elite Wrestling. But going back to the match, that was a barn burner, and Darby Allin has he always bumps his ass off every match, and he did it again once again. And I gotta say, man, Sting, he is 63 years old and he's still doing like dives from the top rope, man. Like Sting at 63 looks better than Goldberg at 54, or Undertaker at his latest stage of his career, man. So props to Sting, props to Darby, and I like the face paints. Sting with a tribute to CM Punk, and a CM Punk with a tribute to the Surfer Sting, the old Sting, the Sting before the Crows and shit. So yeah, and FDR, man, one of the best damn tag teams in the world. That theme music always gets me every fucking time. So, I think we covered all the bases for today's Dynamite episode. Again, this is just a very short review of AEW Dynamite. I'm going to try to do this every week from now on. So follow me on all my socials. Also, if you like this video, also comment something if I missed something, and also subscribe to this channel. So I am just going to run down the schedule for Rampage. For all people here, Rampage is going to be on Saturday this week, not Friday. So just a reminder, because Friday I think that's Christmas Eve. They would broadcast the the Christmas story during the day. So Saturday, Rampage. We got Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT title. Chris Statlander versus Lila Hirsch. Isaiah Cassidy versus Jungle Boy and Hook. We will get another Hook match against Beer Bronson. On Dynamite next week, we will have Orange Cassidy and Best Friends versus the Undisputed Era. Daniel Garcia and 2.0 versus LAX, Eddie Kingston and PNP, Proud and Powerful. Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa for the TBS tournament semifinal. And Jim Ross. Jim Ross is going back to commentary next week. That show is going to be on Jacksonville, Florida, on Daily's Place, AEW's home. So, that's it for this post AEW review show. This is Emil Meister, the one and only, saying stay safe, Merry Christmas, and I am going to see you on the next one.